Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So in today's video, we got a little bit of big news. The Washington football team and Kyle Smith are expected to part ways. If you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. We're almost to 5K, so help me get there. So let's get right into the video. It isn't 100% official, but a bunch of reporters have reported this. Ben Standig from The Athletic, John Keim, and JP Finley have all said that it's very likely that Kyle Smith and the Washington football team part ways. They all said this in their podcast, and I understand, guys, it does suck because we all really wanted Kyle Smith to be our GM, or at the very least still be in the front office before this whole GM hire, took place. He was the top candidate amongst a lot of fans. We didn't even interview. We interviewed Eric Stokes, who was an internal candidate, and he was actually below Kyle Smith, and it looks like we are going to be moving on, or he's going to be moving on from us, because if you look at Marty Hurney's title in Washington right now, it is very, very similar to what Kyle Smith's title is. The only question is if he's going to leave before the draft. I really hope he doesn't, so we can get one more draft with him. And one quick thing, of course, it does suck that he's gone, but this is a really good note I thought from Tan Todd podcast. He said, it's important to remember that while Kyle Smith was leading the scouting team, he is not solely responsible for the successful drafts they've had lately. Played a part, definitely, but not alone. And I totally agree. He's done a very good job, but there's also scouts under him that have provided very good information and have played huge parts in some of our picks. So it does suck though that Kyle Smith is gone, because the last couple of drafts, he's done pretty solid. I mean, you got Cameron Curl in the 7th. You got obviously Chase Young. That's a no-brainer, but you got Gibson in the 3rd round. And then the year before, you got Montez Sweat, Terry McLaurin, Cole Holcomb, who was kind of a Jay Gruden pick, but still, he was part of that, Jimmy Moreland and Kelvin Harmon. So again, it is unfortunate, but something else to keep in mind is not a single team, put in a request to interview Kyle Smith for their GM job, and they were allowed to do so, and not a single team, did that. So here, I'll give you guys some of the reasons why I think, and some other people think, that Kyle Smith and Washington are not going to be working together anymore. And part of it is, Ron Rivera wants to work with someone who he's worked with for a while. He wants to bring, he brought in Marty Hurney, who he's worked with for a long, long time in Carolina. And sure, Martin Mayhew, he hasn't worked with him before, but he's bringing someone like Marty Hurney, who has the same exact job as Kyle Smith. And, Martin Mayhew and him do have the same agent, so they have communicated before. And another thing is that, just Ron Rivera might not like that Kyle Smith only has, 1 year of experience as a vice president of player personnel. This past season was his first year, so I think experience definitely plays a part in it. I just personally, if you're not going to make him the GM, please, I would have just liked to keep him as the vice president of player personnel. Let him, sit behind Martin Mayhew for a few years, and maybe possibly after that, he can move on to another job. Or if Mayhew decides he's done, which, probably not, but you could consider promoting Kyle Smith to the GM job after that, after a couple years, because, it is probably a little bit too early right now for him to be a GM, but maybe within a couple years he could be. And then something John Keim said on his podcast yesterday, he said, John Keim speculated on his latest podcast that the 49ers or Rams could be interested due to Kyle Smith's connections to Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. And this is pretty interesting right here. Keim also said that Smith was tainted, or he said he could have been tainted by his association with Bruce Allen and the old regime. And, he said that maybe that Ron Rivera and them just wanted to move away from everything associated with that regime. We don't know if that's true or not, but that's just something to keep in mind. And, it does, again, it sucks, guys, because this is a young talent, and I think he's a really good talent evaluator. Let's just hope that he wasn't the only one responsible for these good drafts. I think we do have some good scouts in those for those late round guys, and we'll see this year how they do, how Martin Mayhew does, how Marty Herney does, because it probably is a little bit of a mistake to let him go, but if he ends up being a GM and a successful GM for another team, we are really going to look back on this decision as a big mistake, because he does have some good potential. Like I said, the last couple years has had some really, really good drafts. He's been with the organization for over 10 years. I'm not sure if anything happened between Ron Rivera and Kyle Smith. I don't think there was a big conflict, but maybe there was something about Kyle Smith, about the way he worked or something that Ron Rivera didn't like, because he liked him, up until really the beginning of the season. After that, he wasn't really giving him glowing reviews in his press conferences. So maybe he expected Kyle Smith to take on a larger role when Ron Rivera was dealing with cancer. Maybe Ron Rivera thought that he had to do a lot. I don't know. It's all speculation right here at the end of the video. But it's just an interesting thing where you would think that they would have kept him. They would have tried to do, or to have done everything they could have to keep him in the organization, because like I said, he is very young, very talented, talent evaluator. So we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Again, not confirmed, but very, very likely. And I probably will be streaming tomorrow with a guest, so make sure you guys come to that around 6:30. Peace.